Hi everybody, it's Russ from My Hammers 11. I hope you're all safe and well. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, please obviously subscribe and hit the little notification bell so you know when we're posting new content. But loads of videos and loads of great guests coming up, including today. I think it's our most award-winning. She's won the Women's Super League twice with Liverpool. We don't talk about that. But she's obviously played a couple of FA Cup finals as well. It's Kate Longhurst. How are you, Kate?
Hello. Yes, I'm good. Thank you. I'm doing well.
Yeah, not bad. Almost 50 appearances for the Hammers. 5 goals, I believe. I'm led to believe.
Yeah, probably should be doing better than that. But yeah, I think 5. I don't know. I don't really count my goals.
Don't you count the goals? Because I imagine some people do it religiously. Do you just like, when it happens, happens?
Just give it to someone else to score normally, and then you know, join in the celebrations. That's all I care about.
Love it. Right. Obviously, many of you know that Kate's a massive West Ham fan. And so, you know, the idea of this channel, Kate, is we're interviewing lots of different people all over the world, lots of different age groups, about their memories of West Ham. You know, because obviously, you know, you more than anyone, we haven't got no live sport. No, you're not trading
I
team
know.
or anything at the moment. Plenty to talk about. There's nothing. But hopefully soon.
Yes.
So in terms of your sort of West Ham fan career, we can talk. You know, feel free to drop in obviously the playing career as well. You know, what's your earliest sort of memories of West Ham?
I mean, from as early as I can remember, I've supported them.
Yeah.
And then as I've kind of maybe from like 10, 11, I became obsessed. You know, watching every game and knowing all the players and just, I don't know, it's kind of like that family feel, isn't it, of being part of West Ham. It's such a good feeling, and you used to get that when you go over Upton Park and just, you know, you become friends with the people that you sit around.
Yes.
And, you know, and I have that now at the London Stadium as well. You know, the people that you see, you can always have a chat with them at every game. You start to know them, and I don't even necessarily know everyone's name, but you just have a chat, and whether we won, lost, draw, you know, it's that family feel, and yeah, from as early as I can remember, really,
yeah,
I've just had it as part of my passion, really.
And you're right, it's like you've got that bloke next to you or behind you who wears the flat cap. It could be Bob, could be John, don't know.
No idea.
But your best mates for those 3 hours on a Saturday. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, obviously, you know, unlike probably a lot of people we're interviewing, obviously you played for the club as well. You know, I can probably guess one of your fondest memories, but you know, what's sort of your fondest, your happiest memories that stick in your mind when you think about West Ham?
I think the 2 playoff finals. You know, you don't really want to be going down to the Championship, but I think if you can go back up, that's the best way of doing it, because the day out at Cardiff, I just remember all the pubs and, you know, walking along, and there's thousands of West Ham fans. And unfortunately, I couldn't go to the one the year before Preston against Crystal Palace. I couldn't go to that one. I couldn't get a ticket because at the time I wasn't a season ticket holder. And I remember crying on my living room floor when we lost. And my dad was at the game, but I was just crying. And then to go to Cardiff again the next year and watch us beat Preston. You know, just the streets. I remember just singing West Ham songs and just being part of like an army, just marching down the streets. It was amazing. And then Wembley as well, the Blackpool game. I think especially the way that we won it, that was incredible. And yeah, and the FA Cup final, I was at that game as well. And it's typical West Ham, isn't it? You think it's the hope that kills you. You think, okay, we're going to win this. We're going to win this. And then obviously Gerrard.
It encapsulates West Ham. That game sort of encapsulates what it means to be a West Ham fan.
Exactly.
You know? You've really got the highs, and then
and then it just gets taken away from.
And then the penalties, and just before with Marlon Harewood, you know, no. So back to normal. Bless us. Obviously, unlike anyone else I've spoken to, you obviously, you know, there's not many people who had the privilege of walking out to Wembley for their club, you know, for your club. And obviously, won't talk about result, but it doesn't matter. But just having that ability, having that sort of experience is something which is obviously so special. That obviously, you know, I can't, maybe Mark Noble, maybe I think it was around the 2006 when he came on. So, there's not many people who did that. So it's a privilege and an amazing sort of thing to do. But I remember that Cardiff. We went there 3 years in a row, didn't we? And the 2001 final, and there was a pub literally on one of the main streets there, which is, I think it's Wetherspoons, or other pubs are available, but it had like a massive glass window, like second floor, and it was just, all I could see was just heads.
Just West Ham.
Brilliant. Amazing
It was
times.
great.
And actually, I think I preferred that to Wembley. Just experience.
I think I did. Yeah, just in terms of like obviously you've got Wembley Way, but there's not a lot of pubs and things like that where you can all congregate.
Yeah.
Whereas Cardiff, there was quite a few places that you could go into, but you could take over the whole place, and then the other team could take over another street. And then you just sort of like walk together and meet. I think I preferred that in terms of like the atmosphere outside.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant. Right. Okay. What we're doing, Kate, as well, is, as I said, we're doing your sort of Hammers 11. So we try and keep it to a 4-4-2 if we can.
Okay.
Just because I'm rubbish at video editing more than anything. Old school, but I can't. This isn't my day job, so I'm sort of in the coronavirus trying to figure out how to do video editing and and secondly, you have to be in the line to have seen them play. So obviously, if you said you're West Ham, West Ham would be obviously Bobby Moore and
I'm not quite that old.
No, me neither.
Close, but not quite that old.
Yeah, I don't think so. And the last one is, it's your 11, so it doesn't have to be the best players. It could be the ones that there's certain players that people hold dear to their hearts who weren't the best, but they were tryers, or maybe you want to make it worse, or whatever. And that's the idea. It's open forum, and we've heard some great stories from different people in terms of the players they like. So, for the Longhurst 11, who have we got between the sticks?
Yes. It was a tough one between Ludo and Fabianski in goal, and watching them live, and you just think, how has he saved that?
Yeah.
And he deservedly was our player of the season by an absolute mile, I think. And so for me, I think he's probably, for a good number of years, been the best keeper that we've had. So I'm going to have to go Fabianski. Maybe it is just down to the recent memories. But I just think in terms of, we've had some good keepers, but I think he's been, some of the saves he makes, I just don't think, I don't know how he's managed to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'll go with him.
Yeah, good shout. I think, I think there's few will disagree. He's probably technically the best goalkeeper I've had in my lifetime. Obviously, we've had some great ones. We've had, the Shaka Hislops.
I did love Shaka Hislop.
But you're right, Fabianski is just he's a great player. And that year that he won, obviously, I can't remember the last time a goalkeeper won Hammer of the Year.
Yeah.
So anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Right, okay, we'll put Fab in goal. Who are we going to go for left back then, Kate?
Left back. I mean, I've gone for Julian Dix.
Yeah.
Just because I think he epitomised everything that you want out of a defender. No one messed with him. He was hard. He'd smash the ball as hard as he'd kick someone in Rose Ed. And just played with a pure passion that you love. And it's not many fullbacks can kind of get fans off their seat. And, he was one of them players that he'd do something, you'd be like, yes, and get the rest of the team going. And, and he seemed to have a real love for the club as well. And, obviously came back coaching as well. And so I think, it'd be stupid not to pick Dix, really.
And you're right, fullbacks aren't the most glamorous positions. And to be able to make a reaction with the fans just shows how much he means. Great shout. Okay, we'll put Julian in left back. Who are we going to go for right back then, Kate?
Right back, I was stuck between two, and there's one just random. Do you remember Sebastian Schemmel?
Big fan. He was in mine. His
first season, he was unreal. But then his second season, I was like, oh, I'm not sure. But we've had a few players that have done that have been really good one season. So I don't know if he makes my all-time 11, but he had one really good season. And then there's Potts, who, you know, he was there for years. And again, I was quite young while he was playing there, so I don't remember him too much. But I've gone for Thomas Repka.
Yes.
And I'm going to have like a no-nonsense back four here. But, you know, he was, again, when he left, for a foreign player to come in and feel so welcomed by the fans and cry, you know, Repka, like this hard man, you don't expect much emotion. And, you know, the game he left, he was sobbing his eyes out. And I think probably about 30,000 people in that crowd were as well. He was unreal. I mean, his first 4 games, he got sent off twice or something. Or,
something like, yeah.
Absolute nutcase. But again, like Dick's, just the passion, no nonsense, just did his defensive job, gave the ball to someone that was maybe a bit better than him on the ball, but did his job, and just a fan's favourite again.
Exactly, and a record signing for us at the time when he signed for us. But Thomas Repka, no nonsense. Right, this is good. I like this. I can see how it's going in the centre. Okay, if those are the the fullbacks, who the hell are we going to have a centre backs then, Kate? Who we got?
Now, this is probably the hardest decision for me, because being West Ham, you let in a lot of goals. You're not necessarily always thinking, we have the best centre backs, but obviously that can be down to the team that's in front of them as well. But I've gone for James Collins. I think, just again, no nonsense, but you know, he just had a bit about him, a bit of character, a bit of leadership. The fans loved him, and just made you be proud of someone wearing your shirt. You know, he just did everything that you wanted him to do, and it's a shame he didn't get another year contract, but you can kind of understand why. That's football, unfortunately. But I used to love watching him play, and he had 2 spells here, and you know, he played a big part in what we were trying to achieve. And I think, you know, he seemed quite well liked among the players as well as the fans.
Definitely.
And just popped up with a good goal as well every so often. So I'll put Ginge in there.
Yep, good shout, great shout. And I totally echo what you said. I think it was first season in London Stadium, but like Mark did a little thing at the end of the season, you know, when they were doing the lap, and he was like saying, give this man another year, and they did that time. But and it's like, clearly you see on Twitter and the banter he still has with everyone, there's still a love for the players and a love for the club, which is great.
Exactly.
All right, Ginger's in. Okay, who's going to partner him then, Kate?
So I had it between 3. I had Ian Pearce,
great shout,
Anton Ferdinand, and Winston Reid. I think Winston Reid, for a couple of seasons, was unbelievable. It's just a shame he got hampered by injuries, really. I think it's a real shame the way his career with us has sort of petered out a little bit. You know, since we've moved really from Upton Park, he's had a lot of injuries. But I think from when he first came to West Ham, how he grew as a player and became so important for us at the back. I think people tend to forget that just because he's been dogged with injuries. Sometimes people forget how good he was. Ian Pearce, I think he was just at the time a really good centre half for us. Scored that goal against Tottenham that wasn't bad. You know, he was again someone quite tough to get round, and you know, and could play a little bit as well. And
played up front.
Be a good leader.
Played up front for a few games.
But I think I'm going to go for Anton Ferdinand just because he was there for a while. Maybe not necessarily the best centre back that we've ever had, and you know, probably not as good as Rio in terms of what he can do. But you know, Rio wasn't at West Ham long, and I think if you pick him, it's because of what he's done after West Ham.
Sure.
But Anton seemed to really have a love for the club, and just that goal against Fulham, just being there, watching that live, it was incredible. Just, I don't know, he just had so much passion for West Ham, and I really enjoyed watching him play. And just, I felt gutted for him when he missed the penalty in the FA Cup final as well. but yeah, I'm gonna pick Anton Ferdinand to partner.
Nice shout. And actually, I read a story, or someone must have mentioned it to me, about those penalties. I think Ginge was the next one, or something like that. He was gonna, and and he was gonna do old school Julian Dick, just 30-yard, just wallop it in,
just run from the halfway line. Don't stop.
If I was a goalkeeper, I'd have just gone, all right, Ginge, no, it's cool.
Our penalties weren't the best that day, were they?
No, no, they weren't, and I don't think, and it's been picked up loads of times, with Julian. Obviously, he had a famous, just walloped it, and no one does it anymore now in the modern game. Everyone's trying to be clever and curl it and dink it. But all right, okay, that's a no nonsense back.
No nonsense back four. No
you're not getting much change, are you, for the striker or the two wingers out there? Love it. All right, okay, let's go into midfield. Who should we have? Left wing.
Left wing. Again, I was stuck between two. I think Everton in that first season, he was incredible for us, and I really enjoyed watching him play and the way he could dribble around players and some of his finishes. I think it was Ipswich, the playoff goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great moment. But I think in terms of longevity, for me, Trevor Sinclair. Not necessarily like a pacey winger that takes people on and. Not a lot of pace, but he had a lot of skill and a lot of great finishes for us. I mean, he could score a worldie, couldn't he? Every season he seemed to pop up with a couple. And he was one of the first players I had on the back of my shirt as well.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sinclair 8. So, I really enjoyed the way that Sinclair played and, represented England, which we haven't had too many people to cheer on. But, just the way that Sinclair played and obviously set up that Di Canio goal as well. You've got to be in the team, haven't you, if you can play balls like that into our best players.
Yeah, no, I echo everything you said there. He was in my team as Tricky Trev as well. Right, okay, he's going left. Who's going to go on the right then? We'll go the other side.
I've got to go with Pyatt. I mean, not that he's traditionally off the right all the time, but for me, in terms of watching a player live, he is the best player I've seen live, along with Di Canio. But just in terms of how easy he made the game, just everything he did, I was like, how has he done that? How? And just sitting players down, and some of his free kicks that you get to see live. The one he scored against Man United at Old Trafford, our game got called off, so last minute I could go to the game, but I had to sit in the United end. So I bought a ticket off a United fan, and I'm sat there, and I'm sat right behind the goal, and it's gone in, and I'm just like, I couldn't jump up and cheer because I'm sat with Man United fans, and it was just unreal. But I mean, some of the stuff for me, that's the most enjoyable season I've watched West Ham play. The football that we played under Bilic that season, the whole being the last year at the Boleyn Ground, like it was just. Everything was meant to be, I think, and to have a player like him, just the way he played it was incredible, really.
Exactly, and there was nothing of him. He was a stumpy little bloke, really. But just mercurial talent, and I think I totally agree. I think the stars just aligned that season. The right manager, the right player, and the right manager-player relationship. And the season wouldn't have been the same without him.
For
sure. Great shout. All right, we'll put Pyatt there. Who are we going to have in the centres? Then, Kate.
I'm going to go for Noble.
Yep.
Because he's pretty much been there the whole time I've supported West Ham.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah.
And there's a reason he gets picked by every manager, and he never shies away. He always wants the ball. People say about his work rate and everything, but he always wants the ball, and he can do things with the ball that other players can't do. He has got skills. He can, like some of his passing, the vision that he's got. And this season and last season, he seemed to find himself on the left wing and putting in a few crosses as well somehow. But he's just all action everywhere. He probably touches the ball along with Declan Rice probably more than any other player on the pitch. He would never shy away and just gives his all. And he's someone that you want as a captain, someone that you want to get behind as a West Ham fan. So I couldn't have a team without Noble in it.
No, definitely. All right, Nobes is in. Good shout. Okay, so put Nobes in. Who's going to partner Nobes in the middle then?
Scott Parker. Yeah, again, for me, someone that just gave absolutely everything. And I mean, he probably deserved to be in a better team than us. I mean, that one season he had, I think he won the Football Writers Award. Or
yeah. Not many people do that. Did we get relegated that season as well?
From West Ham that haven't even achieved anything that season. He was incredible, and I just remember him sort of going around in circles all the time, but he'd always get away.
Parker turn,
He'd always get away from players. But he just, I mean, he'd take shots in the face, get straight back up. Yeah. It was just as if he did everything for the team that season. And then unfortunately we got relegated and we had to let him go to, the team that we don't want to mention.
We don't talk about yet.
But he was incredible. Probably, again, one of the best players I've seen in terms of wearing a West Ham shirt, all action, did absolutely everything, pass, shooting, tackling, just everything. He was unreal. And I think for Noble, he was someone to learn off of and picked up a lot of good traits off of him as well, and became a better player from playing alongside him, I think.
That's a good shout. And I think sort of history's repeating itself with Declan and Mark, having that sort of older man, so to speak, to sort of, so I can see that. It's a good shout. I didn't really think about that, but that's a great shout. Okay, so, and I think it's good having Noble and Parker in the middle because you've got Payet and Trev.
Yeah.
So they're not going to track back too much. They can come
in, exactly. They can do all the defensive work.
Exactly. Love it. Okay, who are we going to go for up front then, Kate?
I think Di Canio has to be there for me. He was one of the first players that, made me fall in love with West Ham, and just the way he played and that little chop that he always had. You knew he was doing it. The defender knew he was doing it, but would still always be able to do it. He's what you want in a West Ham player, passion, skill. He's a bit of a thrower strop and didn't really like the way he gave. But you loved him for it because he gave absolutely everything on the pitch and wore his heart on his sleeve, and he wasn't bad in terms of skills and everything, was he? So you can't have a team without Di Canio, I don't think.
And I think West Ham fans relate to that person who's clearly an enigma of a player, and it's going to take one defender to leave a foot in and he'll absolutely just go. But it was like Repka. It's like Repka.
Exactly. Wants to get stuff off, but brilliant. And what a man as well, and he still loves West Ham to this day. Yeah. And the West Ham fans still love him to this day. So you have to have Di Canio in the team.
Sounds great. And I think Di Canio and Payet would be tasty.
Yeah. We might be in trouble, but
for away games particularly, we'll have to put someone instead of Paolo. But all right. Who are we going to go?
The rest of the players
exactly.
Out, so,
exactly. Julian will have a word, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Who's going to partner Di Canio up front then, Kate?
Yeah, this was hard because that Tevez season, Tevez was incredible for us. We don't get many players like him, and we were very fortunate. And he only really played half the season, but his goals kept us up that season. So it was not many players can kind of get the West Ham fans on side within one season and then leave and still be
revered,
getting their name sung when he came back. But I think because he wasn't there as long, I'm not going to put him in my team.
Sure.
And then I've got Carlton Cole, just I think for a pure emotional reason. He maybe wasn't the best striker, but he would pop up with some good goals. He's one of our top scorers. And he was there for years, and you just loved him, even if he missed a sitter, but then he could score like a goal on half volley on the turn. You think, where's that come from? Yeah. Again, someone that would never stop trying. He was someone I really enjoyed watching playing, even though, again, he's not maybe the best striker, but I loved having him at West Ham. And then my other option is Dean Ashton. And I think it's a shame he got injured because I think he was probably in my lifetime, the most natural finisher that we've had at West Ham.
Agreed, yeah.
You know, we're not really maybe blessed with so many natural finishers. Maybe Chicharito, but he was in and out of the team and never really looked like he wanted to be at West Ham. So Ashton, in terms of being a natural finisher, I think it's a real shame that his career had to end when it did. So, yeah, between them, and I mean, as much as people probably hate on Arnautovic, he was really important for us.
Did a good job for that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, just the way he could hold the ball up and how quick he was. He doesn't look that quick, but he was so quick and strong, and no one could knock him off the ball. So again, I mean, Arnautovic was great to watch. Yeah, I'm stuck. Mate, I'm going to go for Carlton Cole.
I was going to say Carlton because also he does come down to Rush Green quite a bit to
exactly
family fun days. So we'll keep it.
But yeah, I'll go for Carlton Cole because he's just, again, a fan's favourite, isn't he? And done a lot for the club. So yeah.
And I don't know if you listen to he's doing a podcast with Marlon and Chris Skull, and it's brilliant. It's the Footballer's Guide to Football, and it's absolutely brilliant.
I'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah, and they're getting obviously.
And I love Marlon Harewood, Bobby Zamora, you know, Joe Cole. There's so many players that you can.
There's so many, and that's the great thing about this is you can think back and look, and then like me, I was going back and I was like, and I was thinking about, you know, when you said, you know, Trevor Sinclair was the first person in your shirt, and I was thinking, I think mine was Neil Ruddock. I don't know why. I had this weird fascination.
That's the one you dream of.
Yeah, exactly. I had a weird fascination with Neil Ruddock, and I think I had Johnny Moncur on my back as well one day.
Yeah.
But no, brilliant.
Oh, I love Moncur.
Oh,
what a
lovely bloke. What a lovely bloke. He was. If you wanted a yellow card, you know, just get Johnny on.
I remember when he pulled the lino shorts down.
Yeah.
And he was warming up, and he just pulled the lino shorts down right in front of us, and I was like, "Oh my god, this man!"
And that was probably the last. And no disrespect to sort of the modern era players, but I reckon that was probably the last sort of the Neil Ruddocks, the John Moncurs was the last sort of fun era. Do you know what I mean? When when they were doing the lap of honour or lap of appreciation, they were all naked by the end, apart from they were throwing their shirts and their shorts and socks and loved
you can't really get away with it now. I think there's just too much money in the game.
I remember we played who did we play? I think pre-season friendly we played Napoli a few years ago when we was in the old ground, and by the end they were all in their white skimpy their shirts, and it's like
just giving everything
exactly. They were like chiseled Adonis Italian bodies. You know? Okay, fair enough. Okay, it's been absolutely brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. Got a lovely team. Appreciate obviously you obviously spending the time and obviously, you know, doing all the stuff to get signed off and stuff so you can come on. I really appreciate your time. And thank you to everyone for watching. Obviously, you know, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Got a hell of a lot of other people coming up soon. And stay safe, everyone, and take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.